Good morning, everybody. Welcome into another wonderful, wonderful episode of the worst sports podcast out there. This Raven Slayers Hour. Welcome back, everybody. Finally getting back into streaming this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stream I'm doing here with my dad. This week's episode, as it says per the title, we are discussing the worst playoff losses with every NFL team. We're doing this a little bit differently. We're going to start it out where we do a coin flip and we'll switch in between teams. I'll take one. If I win the coin toss, I take the first team with the Cardinals, and then we alternate different teams, different playoff losses until we get through everything here. Definitely going to be a good back and forth and a good argument between me and the old man. So if you enjoy the want to enjoy the content, come on in, take a look, and see where we go with everything. So without further ado, let me make sure everything is working properly. There we go. Hello, old man. Maybe I unmute and that'll help. What's up? So I kind of talked to everybody, told them what we're doing. We're discussing the worst playoff losses with every team, going team by team, and first thing we're doing here, we're actually going through and doing a coin flip to see who goes first. So give me one brief second here. I just want to make sure everything is properly getting captured. There we go. That way I can have my... That's true. All right. All right, postseason, everything. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get this going here. Everyone can see my phone, can see the little coin toss that we're doing here. You call it in the air, old man. You call it in the air, old man. And it's going. It's going. It is ahead. So I take the first team. I get the first team with the Cardinals. You'll take the second team with the Bears. Or no, sorry, my correction. I just realized we're going alphabetically. I'm stupid. So I'll take the Bengals, and then you'll take the Bears, and we'll go team by team. Okay. That's a better idea. Let's do the wheel. Yeah, you go ahead and randomly spin it, and yeah, go on ahead. Oh, the Raiders. It's a good thing I wound up going and doing all my research late last night. So for the Raiders, I kind of sat and looked over every postseason game that they've had, and I boiled it down to their absolute worst one, 2001 AFC divisional round against the Patriots. As everybody knows, that the name of that game got coined the Tuck Rule game. Brady's back in the pocket, pumps the arm, gets it tucked back into his arm, gets swatted down by Woodson, and it gets ruled an incomplete pass instead of the fumble. Patriots would go on to win that game in overtime and have become the eventual Super Bowl winner. What, the Super Bowl? Oh, okay. All right. Let's get you spinning there for your team. Oh, good Lord. Oh, I absolutely agreed with that one. I definitely agree with you there. Without a doubt, they had the game in their hand, man. They had it right there. What was it? 25, 30-yard field goal and he just hits it wide right. 48-yard field goal regardless, wide right. Buffalo Bills fans, they haven't been the same since. Went to four in a row, couldn't get it done. All right. Well, let's get that wheel going again, see who I get. Ooh, the Colts. That one was that one was tough to even think about. The Colts really haven't had that great success outside of Peyton Manning and his tenure there with the team. So I decided to go with one of the more heartbreaking losses that the Colts had. Uh, with Super Bowl, what was it? The Super Bowl where they played against the Saints. They had all the momentum going into into the halftime, had the lead, great throughout the entire first half, and then that onside kick happened. Coming out of halftime, they were getting the ball. Onside kick happened. The Hands team didn't know what in the world was going on because they were all set up ready to go on a regular kickoff. And then of course the entire defense broke down. Manning had one last chance to wind up winning the game for him, and then Tracy Porter happened. So, Round and round it goes. Where is the wheel going to take you, sir? Yeah, I have to agree with you. The undefeated season, losing it all at the very end. At the very end of the game, definitely heartbreaking. I had it. I had also in there the last playoff loss that of the Brady era with the wild card loss to the Titans, but at the same time, I mean, they were having a rough season in general going into that wild card game. So definitely the one that stung a lot more was that undefeated season. Round and round. Oh boy. So the sorry, I'm gonna call them the Redskins. I don't give a shit anymore. Washington Redskins. I kind of had a rough decision when it came to that. Um, it boiled down to one of the biggest Super Bowls they had against the Oakland Raiders. Super Bowl 18. Redskins came into that game as the highest scoring offense that entire season. And the Raiders just dismantled them out of nowhere, held the highest scoring offense to 9 points. Like it was a clinic the Raiders put on the Redskins. And they just, I, I don't know. That was the worst one I thought of. Worst loss in NFL history. Oh, the Bears versus Chicago in the 1940 NFL Championship, 73-0. laugh if you get Carolina. We did not do the Bucks yet. And definitely don't forget those horrible creamsicle jerseys. I would have hated to see them in the Super Bowl. All right, round and round she goes. Please land on Denver. Please land on Denver. Because I can make fun of them. The Jets. Ugh. So many different ones I could think of with the Jets. Yeah, just kidding. They've barely been in the playoffs anyway. I boiled it down to the 2010 AFC Championship game against the Steelers. This was their first ever time going back to back in the AFC Championship game, back to back title games. Had an insanely great season for Mark Sanchez, but had that heartbreaking loss to the Steelers. It boiled down to that either that game. It boiled down to that game more than anything, honestly. And of course, always remember that one, especially because of the way that he reacted to losing that game, tearing off the headset, throwing it on the ground, crying like a baby. Oh, that one was the easy one for me. It was. A lot of people forget about that one too because Marshawn was actually on the field during that play too. And everyone was sitting there saying, "All right, cool, here comes Marshawn Lynch, going to win the game for him." And then it made no sense. Oh Lord. So for the Cardinals, I had a couple of them. A lot of people I talked to straight said the worst loss for the Arizona Cardinals was their Super Bowl. I disagree, however. I I sat and looked over everything. The most heartbreaking one I've kind of come down, boiled it down to, was the 2009 NFC divisional round against the Saints. This was one of the better teams the Cardinals had fielded in their trying to make another Super Bowl run to try and get Warner's career, send Warner off the way he needed to go with a Super Bowl victory. But their playoff run was broken up by one of the worst scandals that came out in the NFL with Bounty Gate. And for most people who don't forget, with that game, after that game was over, Kurt Warner had to retire. He realized that he couldn't go with the young kids anymore. And shortly thereafter, after that 2009 divisional round, Cardinals fell into obscurity. They couldn't bounce back. Hey, gotta throw a wrench in there sometimes, you know. Oh lordy. Yeah, I definitely agreed with you there. I mean, finishing as the number 2 seed that year, Aaron Rodgers winning his what was it, his first MVP in a line of MVPs that he ultimately won over what 5 or 6 years. And I mean, yeah, he was a stud, but it was unfortunate he had to run. He had to fight against the Legion of Boom that year. Oh, this one was a no-brainer for me. Think about their short tenure, Jacksonville. Right, really don't have a whole lot of playoff experience as a team in general. I went with most recently the 2017 AFC Championship game against the Patriots. Best chance at making their first Super Bowl run in their history. Offense was firing on all cylinders up until the last 10 minutes. You let the Patriots come back and beat you to eventually let the Patriots make the Super Bowl. Like it if they had been if their offense had still been pushing and given any fight back for them those last 10 minutes, we're talking about the Jaguars making the Super Bowl, not the Patriots. Blake Bortles. I don't even have to think about it. Blake Bortles was the quarterback that year. He had been shit the first couple of years leading up to 2017, played out of his mind in 2017, and then fell off the fucking map in 2018. Oh, good lord. Doesn't he still coach there? God, what was his name? Oh, I know. I remember his name. I remember him. I remember him because he. Yep, he used to coach the Giants. He. Oh, are you talking about for the Patriots or? Oh, good lord. Landry. Oh, Coughlin. Oh, so many few to choose from this time. Oh, ugh. Wow. I actually disagree with you. I wound up going with their Super Bowl that they played against the 49ers. We had prime Dan Marino, had one of his better rookie year. Dan Marino played out of his mind throughout the regular season. And on top of it, Marino never got another chance to make another Super Bowl. Came up against one of the best teams of the 90s and the 49ers and just couldn't get it done. Definitely. Kind of surprised we haven't even touched on the AFC North yet. Oh, the Giants, the G-Men. Where did my notes go for the G-Men? There it is. For the Giants, I kind of had a difficult decision to make between them because they've had their playoff experience. They've won Super Bowls. They've won Super Bowls against some of the best teams out there. I boiled it down to the 2022 NFC Divisional Round. Beat the ever living snot out of whoever they had to beat in the wild card. Who was it that year? The Vikings, if I'm not mistaken. And then they get blown out in embarrassing fashion to the eventual NFC champs. And somehow they won one playoff game with Danny Derps, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. Somehow won with them, but couldn't get couldn't get it done after the wild card victory. Oh, the Bears. The Bears. The Bears. The Bears. Oh, the double doink. See, I thought about that for the Bears. Thought double doink definitely was embarrassing, but I had to disagree. I boiled it down to that Super Bowl loss that they had against the Colts. First ever time we saw a kickoff ran back for a touchdown. The opening kickoff ran back for a touchdown, and then just couldn't do anything after that point. Like that was the most embarrassing in my personal view. All right, come on, NFC or AFC North. Come on. All right. Hope everyone's enjoying the content thus far. Well, he stepped away. We might as well come out and say, "Hey, fans, anybody out there who is currently watching, if there are any teams that we've talked about thus far who have had very embarrassing playoff losses, as you as a fan of any of the teams that we've talked about, if there's any team that you are absolutely any team that you were a fan of that you're depressed by from certain playoff losses, let us know in the comments about what you think." That's fine by me. Can't hear him. The pukes off the board. Don't forget a lot of those VHS tapes are starting to become a lot more corrupt as years go by. So a lot of those tapes can't be watched. And also, any of you Cowboys fans out there who are currently watching, look in my eyes right here, right here, right here. Did not maintain. Oh, that one's easy. That I didn't even have to think about it. Super Bowl 50. I'm surprised you're not doing a little happy dance. Super Bowl 50 had the number one offense versus the number one defense, and they just couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. They were destroyed by the number one. Exactly. Destroyed by a Broncos team who was trying to win one for Peyton Manning to get him off, send him off and into glory, and more than anything, again, like mentioned, number one offense with the biggest head case at quarterback with what was his name? Cameron Newton, correct? Cam Newton, starting quarterback, couldn't dive on the football that he had fumbled himself, all because he didn't want to get his nails dirty, bruh. I knew he'd do this. I knew he'd do this. I knew he'd. Von Mill, you taste so good. Please, please get Cleveland. Please get Cleveland. Oh, here we go. I don't know. I have that Super Bowl against the against the Seahawks up there. I mean, you see the snap go over Peyton Manning's head. You knew the game was lost. Watch it be Cleveland. I have so many different choices for Cleveland. It's not even funny. Don't even have to think about it. Super Bowl 51. You had the lead going into the half, 28-3. And choked it away. 28-3. Come on. I think it was Miami, yeah. All this sitting there spinning, I kind of forgot about the Raiders 2000. What was it? 2002 Super Bowl too. Oh boy. I had mine as a close second as Super Bowl 58. Had the lead at half. Patrick. No, that wasn't that one. No, that was the. No, that one was the Patrick Mahomes game. Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl. Well, first Super Bowl for the Chiefs in a long while. Niners had the lead at half, and then just all of a sudden, big old turd left on the field. Cleveland, Cleveland. Oh, the Eags. So, couple of Super Bowls I had to think about. Most recent, what was it? Super Bowl, not this past year, but the year prior. That was hard, but I wound up going with Super Bowl 39. Had a prime McNabb, a prime T.O. They had broken a 3-year streak of losing in the NFC Championship game, and they had to go up against one of the bigger names in the NFL with Tom Brady. What was it? Tom Brady and the Patriots had the game in hand. Had the ability to wind up winning the game against one of the better dynasties of that year, and then Harrison happened. Harrison interception broke the game, ended the game for the Eagles and their chance to win their first Super Bowl. That was T.O. Oh God. I had to agree with you 100% there. Sure, they had a lot of great teams in the 90s, but 2024 definitely was the most heartbreaking loss to see for the Lions. Oh, God. Houston, Houston, Houston. Not a whole lot to choose from, especially with Houston. So I wound up going with probably one of the rougher losses in the divisional round. 2019 AFC divisional versus the Chiefs had full control going into halftime, 24 to nothing lead, and you blew it. You blew it against one of the younger stars of that year with against Patrick Mahomes, and this was probably this was the last chance for one of Belichick's proteges to make the Super Bowl, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't hold off the Chiefs after halftime. Hey, finally got an NFC or AFC North team. I have to disagree with you. 2011 AFC Championship game against the Patriots. Yeah, the Lee Evans drop pass on for the game-winning touchdown, and then shortly after, Billy Cundiff comes running out to tie the game, get it into overtime, get the Ravens another chance to win, and he missed. Oh, the Chargers! Oh boy, 2006 divisional round against the Patriots, coached by the best coach to never win a Super Bowl. You had star talent like LT and Rivers back there trying to win them a Super Bowl, and the Marlon McCree interception and the subsequent fumble that happened off the interception sealed the game for the Patriots to win. Heartbreaking fashion, resulted in probably one of the dumbest moves by the front office to fire your head coach after that Super Bowl. What in the what in the world was Spanos thinking of firing the coach after that Super Bowl? That was oh good lord, it's Marty Schottenheimer. Oh wow. Oh, the Queefs. I mean Chiefs. I agree. Stop making fun of me. Stop making fun of me. um, Cancun. I mean, I was given an opportunity to um you know what? It doesn't matter. It wasn't my fault. No. Um well, you see, I don't have an answer. It was my fault. It was my fault. That's right. No, I agree. Fuck the Chiefs. Didn't deserve it. Didn't deserve the three-peat. That's right. You heard me right, Kermit. Kermit the because the check bounced. Cleveland. I want to make fun of them. Super Bowl 34. They were on a comeback late in the fourth quarter against the greatest show on turf, and you end up 1 yard short of winning your first ever Super Bowl as a franchise. Like, couldn't. There's no other argument about it. Just oh, good honorable mention. That is a great question. Oh, good lord, the Oilers. I don't really remember any heartbreaking ones from the Oilers. So Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Where are my notes on the Saints? This one's hard for you? I don't even have to think about it. No, yeah, 2018 definitely was my answer there, without a doubt. I mean, it resulted in a rule change the following year where they could challenge pass interference. They could go and challenge the referees on that. Plus, on top of it, it was the last real chance the Saints had at getting Brees' second Super Bowl ring. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Will doesn't like you all that much. So the Rams was a difficult one for me, especially since I really didn't take down any notes because I forgot that they were even there. I'll be honest, I completely forgot that they were there. Um, brief moment. So after sitting here looking at it, the 1984 divisional round against the Redskins, 51-7. I don't even have to think about it. I definitely agree with you there. I mean, on top of it, a lot of people don't remember the record that they had that year: 15-1, 15-1. Prime Randy Moss, and as a lot of people remember, like you mentioned, Gary Anderson hadn't missed all year to lose against a team that had happened to have a mixtape. Only team that I can remember who ever had a mixtape going into the year. Could have taken a knee. Now, I definitely agree that one's definitely an honorable mention because if you don't remember the announcer that game, you could have taken a knee and kicked the 50-yard or kicked the field goal. This isn't a this is the Super Bowl, man. Oh, the good old Pittsburgh Steelers, 1994 AFC Championship round against the Chargers. Cordell Stewart, obviously not the answer for the Steelers. Had a chance at making the Super Bowl with probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in their existence. Chargers shocked the Steelers at home to prevent the Cordell Stewart led Pittsburgh Steelers getting to the Super Bowl. Really? Oh. I had it tied with I had it tied with the fumble. I honestly did. I mean, honestly, you have control of the football. You have control of your own destiny, and your running back fumbles the fucking football. Like, so I had a tough decision between all three of their Super Bowls. You had the two Super Bowls against the 49ers early in the 90s. But for me, without a doubt, their most recent Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl 56, I feel was the more heartbreaking. Yeah, the Bengals going into their first Super Bowl young with a young Joe Burrow, a rookie Jamar Chase, an amazing offense with a subpar defense. We made the Super Bowl against all odds. We had to beat Patrick Mahomes to get there. Hey, guess what? We did it, Cleveland. We did it. We did it. We did it. We got there. We won. We won the AFC Championship game. We would have won for two. We would have won if two things happened properly. If the offensive line was more cemented and wasn't like fucking traffic cones that game. And the second one, I blame Samaje Perine for not diving for the goddamn ball when it's coming right to you. Ball's coming to you. This is the Super Bowl we're talking about, not the AFC Championship game, not the wild card game, the fucking Super Bowl. Ball's coming at you. You don't dive for it. Come on. Without a doubt, my most heartbreaking one. Like, because I remember sitting there. It was me, Dave, and Ryan sitting there watching that Super Bowl at their home and just seeing the ball coming towards Perine and him just going, I don't want to grab it. I'm good. Like, come on. And of course, we can't. Of course, you talked about the personal aspect behind everything. I also think back to that Super Bowl I was just talking about, especially with Eli burnt toast apple. So, but yeah, I agree with you. As well. I mean, that Super Bowl definitely was heartbreaking. I couldn't witness it myself, but it was definitely heartbreaking. knowing about the especially learning about the, hey, is that John Candy up there? That was just just understanding. He knew that this was, even though it was a serious situation, he was like, no big deal. Like that was heartbreaking. All right, well that brings us down, and that brought us down to the final team out of it, out of everything. So we're done with all of that here. Say your last little send off, and I'll go ahead and send her off for the show, Dan. Yep. All right, so that brings us to the end. I appreciate everybody who came out and watched this entire show here tonight. Well, this morning. I appreciate every single one of you who came out, who actually enjoy the content here. We will definitely be back next week. May have a little bit more free time on my hands. Might see me a little bit more often, but I appreciate every single one of y'all who came out and watched this. As said by my dad, if you have any ideas or topic ideas that you want us to talk about, definitely leave them in the comments. We're definitely a lot more versed on football, more football, baseball, and basketball. So if you happen to be watching this on YouTube and have any topic ideas revolving any of those, definitely leave it in the comments. Give us some ideas and bring them to the table, and we'll definitely talk about them. Talk about talking about them. So I appreciate everybody who came out and watched. We'll see you on the next one, dude.